you're stuck inside right now, you're probably looking for something to take your mind off how crazy the world is. And what better way than with a good video game? Today, on Brotherly Love Gaming, we're bringing you 6 reasons why Yakuza Kiwami is the perfect game for when you're stuck at home. And yes, basically any Yakuza game can work similarly, but we're assuming you're new to the series, so Kiwami or Zero is the way to go, and we just chose Kiwami. Starting off with number 6, you gotta talk about the city of Kamurocho. Kamurocho is a fictional district of Tokyo, the setting of every Yakuza game, and they made it feel like a real place. The streets and buildings are detailed, you could practically practice your Japanese by reading all the storefront signs. The movement of the city folk, the noise, it's perfect for getting your fix of being outside. Every now and then I'll just take a sweep of the city just to get a feeling of what it's like to be in such a place. The level of detail is also really impressive. You know, a lot of open world games, they'll have you running around in giant fields where nothing really much happens for, minutes and minutes at a time, but in Kamurocho, every couple of feet there's something new to encounter, there's someone new that you can meet, something new that you can do. It's really one of the most interesting game settings that there is out there, and the fact they are able to make it interesting for so many games is really impressive. Next, coming in at number 5, we gotta talk a little bit about the story. Yakuza Kiwami has the feel of an epic crime drama, which is a great kind of escapism. You play as Kazuma Kiryu, a Yakuza who in the early parts of the game takes a fall for a murder he did not commit and spends 10 years in prison. The bulk of the game takes place once Kiryu is out, trying to make up for lost time, build a new life, and solve a couple mysteries. Kiryu in particular is this really interesting character who has a strong sense of justice, who really cares for the people around him, and despite starting the game as a Yakuza, basically a criminal, he always wants to make sure the people around him are happy. He's basically a good guy all around and you just want to see him succeed. The plot of the game has just a ton of twists and turns and introduces you to some other really interesting characters as you get deeper and deeper into the underbelly of Kamurocho. It's kind of like the epic feel of like The Godfather or Goodfellas, except you get to play a part in it. Now number 4, the side quests, also known as sub-stories, are really the heart and soul of this game. Yeah, the main story is a really great way to just escape, but if you really want to dig into the people of this place, the sub-stories are the way to go. You'll find dozens of people in Kamurocho with problems that only Kiryu can solve. In some ways, you kind of feel like the hero that's coming to town and is just trying to clean everything up. Sometimes that means using your fist, and sometimes it means winning prizes at the crane game. But it all comes back to the people you get to interact with. They have problems to solve and dreams they want to achieve, and Kiryu is the guy to do it. Coming in at number 3, we gotta talk about the combat. See, the Yakuza series is kind of interesting because it's basically like an action brawler, but also the battles you get into are basically like random encounters you'd find in a JRPG. When a bunch of goons try to jump you in the alley, you can teach them a lesson with your fists. You have 4 different fighting styles you can choose from at any time, so it's really fun to just figure out what you think works the best for you. Maybe you want to use the rush style and deliver a bunch of punches really quickly, or maybe you're all about that beast mode and dealing heavy damage even if it makes you slower. Definitely one of the most unique aspects of the Yakuza series is Kiryu's heat actions. Basically, he has a special gauge you can fill up that'll let you deal a particularly gruesome attack on an enemy. It's always great and surprising to be able to see a new one for the first time. You can also pick up a ton of different objects to use as weapons, like bikes and signs and even comically large traffic cones. These items give the combat a kind of slapstick feel, like maybe you shouldn't take this all too seriously. A welcome approach to punching right about now. Now coming in at number 2, going along with the combat idea, we gotta talk about Magica, and specifically Magica Everywhere. So Goro Magica is one of the main characters of this series. He's a friend slash rival of Kiryu. Basically this guy wants to kick your face in anytime he sees you, but he does it out of love. Yakuza Kiwami has a special system called Magica Everywhere, where Magica will just appear and decide he wants to fight you. Yeah, it can be a little annoying when you're trying to get somewhere important and the dude pops out of a manhole cover just to punch you, but Magica is an interesting character and fighting him all these different ways will always keep you on your toes. Fighting Magica this way is also the only way to fully unlock the 4th dragon fighting style, which is considered Kiryu's signature fighting style, so getting it is really important. I personally love all the different ways that Magica will try to surprise you. If you can't get outside to see your friends, you'll always have a friend in Magica. And finally, at number 1, the biggest reason why Yakuza is the perfect game to play when you're stuck at home. It's gotta be the minigames. Definitely the real draw to this experience. It's an absolute blast to walk your way around the city, find an arcade, and then play a couple rounds on the crane game. There's even a couple bars you can go to, so you can play games like darts or billiards. All the minigames are surprisingly great for being stuck in the middle of a brawler RPG, but the UFO cacher and billiards in particular stand out for expertly mimicking the real-world experience. If you can't get out to the bar to shoot some real pool, you can do a lot worse than playing it in Yakuza. There's a arcade bug women fighting game. I don't really know how to describe this one, but it's there, and if you like it, you can play it a lot. There's a small car racing minigame. Other Yakuza titles have minigames like the karaoke rhythm game found early in Yakuza 0. Some of these minigames tie back into the Magica Everywhere system again, like he'll show up to challenge you to darts or pool, and then once again it feels like you're playing against one of your buddies. I have sunk probably way too much time into the pool game, being able to play 8-ball, 9-ball, there's a puzzle pool game that you can play. I just really like pool, and I can't leave my house to play it right now. Thankfully, Yakuza is there for me. But no matter which minigames you end up loving, the fact there are so many and that they mimic real life so well, makes it even easier for you to get lost in the fiction of this world. And that's going to be it. 6 reasons why we think Yakuza Kiwami is the perfect game to play when you're stuck at home. We'd love to hear from you in the comments about what you're playing right now. Have you played Yakuza Kiwami? What's your favorite minigame? If you have played it, is there anything else you would have included in this list? Drop us your thoughts in the comments, and remember to like this video so we know you liked it, and subscribe to Brotherly Love Gaming to see more videos like this.